Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are doing fine in your life, and I hope that you have all studied all the previous four lectures on this chapter, force and pressure. And we'll start today with the lecture number 5, and today's topic is pressure. So I hope that you are seeing the entire videos. Then only you will, as I always say, watch the entire video, and you will understand the chapter much clear. The last lecture I've given a sum at the end, and yeah, I got some positive response, but not from all the students. See, it's just the thing that I want to say. If we teachers get a positive response from all of you, then we also get motivated to teach you in this online way, in this new online teaching classes. So please motivate us by watching the entire videos, comment the answers that we give at the end of the videos. Like that, if we do it in two way, things are much better. So that's just the only one request that I have from all of you. Anyway, so let's start with today's chapter called as pressure. Now, pressure. Now, before understanding what is pressure, okay, that will come a little later. We have to understand a one term. That term is known as thrust. We have to first understand what is thrust. We'll discuss about this term a little later, okay, 15 minutes later. So first understand this term, what is called thrust. Now, what is thrust? See, this is a surface. This is a surface, and on this surface, force can be applied in many ways. A force can be applied in this way. A force can be applied in this way. A force can be applied in this way. So at different angles, okay, like this is the surface, I can apply the force in this way. I can also apply the force in this way. I can also apply the force in this way. So I can apply the force in different angles, but out of this, I will only concentrate on this force, not the other one. Why? Because this one makes an angle of 90 degree with the surface. This force, so I'm writing F1, F2 and F3. Out of that, only F2 makes an angle of 90 degree with the surface, makes an angle of 90 degree with the surface. So as a result, as F2 makes only an angle of 90 degree with the surface, see, F1 is not making, F3 is not making, only F2 is making. If you see you nicely, only F2 is making an angle of 90 degree. As F2 is F2 is the only force which is making an angle of 90 degree with the surface. Therefore, F2 is only called as thrust. F2 is only called as thrust. So F1 and F3, they are not as called as thrust. They are called force. But F2 is what? F2 is a 90 degree force. F2 is what? 90 degree force. So F2 is a 90 degree force, means force making an angle of 90 degree. Or I can say what? 90 degree means what? Perpendicular. So F2 is a 90 degree force, or F2 I can say it is what? A perpendicular force. Or another word, F2 is what? A normal force. All 90 degree perpendicular normal, they have the same meaning. So as F2 is a 90 degree force, or F2 is a perpendicular force, or F2 is a normal force, that is the reason, that is why F2 is called as thrust. Therefore F2 is called as thrust. Whereas F1 and F3, they are also force, but they are not 90 degree force. They are not 90 degree. They are not perpendicular. So that is why F1 and F3 are not thrust. Okay, so I think you understood what is thrust. So thrust is what? Thrust is the force. Thrust is a force which makes an angle of 90 degree with the surface. So just a second. Okay, got it. So from here I can say what? Thrust, it is a force, a force, a force perpendicular to the surface. A force perpendicular to the surface is called as thrust. So I think by this your thrust definition should be clear. Okay, very easy. Okay, like this is the surface, this is thrust. If I apply force in this way, no, not thrust. If I apply force in this way, no, not thrust. This way, thrust. So I think you understood. This way it is thrust, other angles, not thrust. Now after this, what we have? Say, okay, suppose this is a surface, and on this surface, suppose a person is standing, okay? Suppose this person is standing. Now this person is standing on this ground. Is he applying any kind of force to the surface? Yes. This person applies a force on the surface. This person is applying force. Is the person applying force 90 degree with the surface? Think. Is this person is applying force at an angle of 90 degree on this surface? Answer is yes. This force is going downward and my surface is like this. So making an angle of 90 degree. So this person is making an angle of 90 degree. Okay. This person is applying force which is making an angle of 90 degree with the surface. So I can say what? This person is applying actually thrust. This person is actually applying thrust on the surface. And for instance also, if you are standing, like I am right now standing, what am I applying on my ground? What am I applying on my ground? I am applying actually thrust. I am applying thrust on the ground. Okay? I am applying thrust on the ground. This thrust which the person is applying on the ground is equal to what? Is equal to its own body weight. This thrust which the person is applying on the ground is equal to its own body weight. See, thrust is what? Thrust is nothing but a force. Thrust is nothing but actually a kind of a force only. Now, this force which is the person is applying where? Downward, 90 degree. And what is weight? We know what is the definition of weight. We have learned in class 7. Weight is the gravitational pull of the earth. So this force is actually applied by what? Earth only. Earth is attracting the body towards itself. So this force or the thrust of this person is actually the weight of this person. So your weight is equal to your thrust. I think this part should be clear by now. So weight is equal to thrust for a person who is standing. Okay, standing straight. Not like this. If I stand like this in a crooked manner, no, not that way. If I stand still, then my thrust is equal to my weight. Clear? Now this thrust also depends on many things. Thrust. Now we will study about what? Effect of thrust. We'll study about this topic, effect of thrust. Means what? Effect of thrust means when thrust is more, when thrust is less. So effect of thrust means what? Effect thrust means more thrust or less thrust. When thrust can be more, when thrust we feel less. Okay. This is a very common example that I will take to make you explain. If you are standing on a sand, so what is happening? You are applying more force on the ground. If you are standing on the sand, you are applying more force on the ground. And more force means what? More thrust. So the effect of thrust is felt more. effect of thrust is felt more. So if a person, suppose this is the ground, this is the ground, and this person is happening to stand. This person is standing on the ground. So what happens? As this person is standing on the ground, he happens to have a tendency to sink, to go inside the sand. So there is a tendency that this person has a tendency to go inside the sand. Why? Because when he's standing, let me give you a, so over here what happens? More thrust. Now the same person is lying down on the ground, If the same person is lying down on the ground, what happens? He doesn't, that time the person is not sinking. The person is not going down. Means what? If the person is lying down, the less effect of thrust. Less effect of thrust means what? Less force. Less effect of thrust means less force is applied by him on the ground. So less effect of thrust. Over here, more effect of thrust. Now try to understand. This person is standing and this person is lie down. This person is lying down, this person is standing. When he's standing, there is more thrust. When he's lying down, there is less thrust. Think why. In why only the full every concept is hidden. Think why when he's standing, there is more thrust. When he is lying down, there is less thrust. The answer over here is area. When I'm standing, I am occupying how much area? Less area. I am occupying less area. So when a person is standing, he occupies less area. He covers up less area on the ground. See this marker, he is standing on the my hand. So applying less area, only this much of area on my hand. Okay. But when he's lying down, he is occupying more area. He is covering up more area. Now this marker is over here. Now you can see how much area covered. This whole area is being covered by the marker. So over here, more area. So over here, since the person when he lies down, he covers more area. So less effect of thrust. So more area, less effect of thrust. Over here, this person is occupying less area, so more effect of thrust. So this person won't be sinking much. Okay, this person won't be sinking, whereas this person has a tendency to sink in the sand. So effect of thrust means when you can feel more force, when you can feel less force. So when you can feel more force, more thrust, when area less. When you can feel less thrust, when you can feel less effect of thrust, when area covered is more, less thrust. Area is less, more thrust. So this part should be clear. Now what happens? This effect of thrust means what? More thrust or less thrust means what? More pressure or more force, or where you can feel more force, where you can feel less force. Okay, effect of thrust means more force, more the effect of force, or less the effect of force. Actually perpendicular force. Okay, more perpendicular force, less perpendicular force. Now what happens? Over here, one physical quantity came to define this: more thrust, less thrust. Suppose for instance, for an example, to make it easier for you, the amount of matter when it is more, tell me what is the definition? The amount of matter contained in a body. The amount of matter in a body, how we define the amount of matter in a body? Do you know? This is taught in class 6, 7. The amount of matter in a body is called as mass. Okay. So, if I have more matter, more mass. If I have less matter, less mass. So, mass is what over here? Mass over here is a physical quantity. Mass over here is what? A physical quantity which can define whether amount of matter is more or amount of matter is less. Similarly, exactly similar, no difference, okay? Where the amount of force is more or the amount of force is less. So say amount of thrust, effect of thrust is more, where the thrust felt is more, or where the thrust felt is less. The amount of thrust, or so the effect of thrust, the effect of thrust felt more or felt less is defined by a physical quantity. That is defined by a physical quantity. Similarly, the amount of matter in a body is defined by a physical quantity known as mass. The amount of thrust felt by a body, the amount of force felt by a body, okay, like whether this is applying more force or less force, this is understood by a physical term, or a physical term comes to explain this thing, and that physical term is called as pressure, which we will study. Okay, so pressure is what? Pressure is a physical quantity. Means the general definition, general definition is different, but you have to understand where this pressure came, how this word pressure came. So pressure is what? Pressure is a physical quantity that is used for what? To determine whether the force, effect of force is more or effect of force is less. If effect of force is more or less, we define that by a physical quantity that is called as pressure. I think by this pressure is, so we can move on to pressure. So the effect of thrust more or less can be felt by a physical quantity, can be determined by a physical quantity known as pressure. Okay? Now pressure, if I have to define pressure, how will I define pressure? Pressure is related to two things. One is how much force or how much thrust, and on how much area. Okay, so pressure is related to two physical quantity. How much is the thrust and how much is the area. On these two quantities we have to define pressure. So pressure is what? Pressure is defined as the thrust applied per unit area. Pressure is defined as what? It is the thrust. Thrust means what? Perpendicular force. Thrust means, don't get confused by the term thrust. I know your first time you are coming to this word thrust. Thrust means perpendicular force. No very hard word to understand. So thrust or perpendicular force, thrust per unit area. So thrust per unit area is called as pressure. And to understand this thing, I will take a example. I will take a nice example to make you understand what is this. Pressure is thrust per unit area. But I will explain a little later. Let's come to this part. So how to write the formula for pressure. So pressure is what? This thrust per unit area. So pressure is called as thrust per unit area. How much thrust on how much area? Let's talk about the thing known as the SI unit. Let's talk about the SI unit. SI unit of pressure. Now why I say SI unit? See, every physical quantity has a SI unit. Every physical quantity is assigned to one SI unit. Mass, physical quantity, SI unit, kg. Length, physical unit, SI unit, meter. Times the physical unit quantity, and SI unit is second. Okay, so like that, pressure is a physical quantity and the SI unit. Let's find what is the SI unit. Take thrust means what? Thrust means nothing but a force, perpendicular force. And what is the SI unit of force? We have learned that in the previous lectures. The SI unit of force is Newton. And what is the SI unit of area? What is the SI unit of area? Anybody has a guess? Anybody can guess? Area is nothing but what? Length into breadth. This is the formula that we know about area. Now length is what? SI unit is what? Meter. Breadth, that is also a kind of a distance only, and that SI unit is also meter. So meter into meter is what? Meter square. So area ka SI unit, so area's SI unit is what? Meter square. So this will be what? Meter square. So SI unit of pressure is what? Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square is known as the SI unit. Now there are other, now this Newton per meter square is very difficult to say at times. So that is why Newton per meter square can be written as what? Pascal. So Newton per meter square can be also written as pascals. Same thing, Newton per meter square, if you say 10 Newton per meter square or if you say 10 pascals, both has the same meaning. Both has the same meaning. But more widely, Pascal is accepted as the SI unit. But if you write Newton per meter square, there in only numericals there won't be any problem. But if they ask you a direct question, the SI unit of pressure is dash. The SI unit of pressure is dash. Then the answer should be Pascal. That answer should be Pascal. So that is more widely accepted. Now this SI unit, let's discuss with the SI unit a little more detail. Okay, after that I'll make you understand pressure by a good example. I have a good example to make you understand pressure. But let's understand the SI unit. So SI unit is what? SI unit of pressure is what? Newton per meter square, which is also known as Pascal. So if I write 1 Pascal, that will what? 1 Newton by 1 meter square. See, 1 is equal to 1 by 1. So 1 Pascal will be 1 Newton by 1 meter square. Very clear cut. That means what? How to define 1 Pascal? When a force, see, if a body is applying a force of how much? 1 Newton. A body is applying force, or I can say a body is applying a perpendicular force. A body is applying a perpendicular force of 1 Newton on a body is applying a perpendicular force of 1 Newton on a surface जिसका area है 1 meter square, on a surface whose area is 1 meter square. So how to define 1 Pascal? 1 Pascal is defined as a force of 1 Newton applied on an area of 1 meter square. So force of 1 Newton when applied on an area of 1 meter square, then the pressure over here is called 1 Pascal. Now there are other units also, okay? There are other units like what? Like we have atmospheric pressure. The atmosphere applies a pressure on us. Atmosphere applies one kind of pressure on us, and therefore that is also a unit of pressure, where we say ATM. ATM is also a unit of pressure, like Pascal, unit of pressure, Newton per meter square, also a unit of pressure. Similarly, ATM, atmosphere, is also a unit of pressure that is used to measure atmospheric pressure. How much the atmosphere, the the air giving pressure on our body. So over there we define as, over there we give the unit as ATM. So normally 1 atmosphere is the normal. 1 atmosphere means what? Right now you are sitting, I am over here. At this point of the time, some amount of atmospheric pressure is acting on our body. Huh? At this point, certain amount of atmospheric pressure is applied on our body. And how much pressure is applied on our body? 1 atmosphere. Right now on my body, how much the atmospheric pressure applying? 1 atmosphere pressure is applied, and this 1 atmosphere is near about is equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Means pascal is also a unit of pressure, ATM is also a unit of pressure. But how to relate both of them? Like this way: 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.013 into 10 to the power of 5 pascal. Like it's similar, kg and gram, both are units of masses or not, kg and gram. But how to relate both of them? 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. Like that, ATM and pascal both are unit of pressure, and how to relate both of them? Same way, 1 atmosphere is equal to this much of pressure. Like 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. Kg and gram, so both are unit of mass. Like similarly, ATM and pressure are both unit of pressure. Both are unit of pressure. But how to relate both of them? Like 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. Similarly, 1 atmosphere is equal to 1.013 and 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Okay. Now, after this, we have to understand what is this pressure. What is this pressure? See, pressure can be understood very nicely with a small example. Okay, just see this example and you will understand this concept of pressure in a more like crystal clear way. Okay, this concept of pressure can be understood by some examples only, and by this example you will understand it much better. So watch this example. Now, to understand the concept of pressure, I have taken an example. Now say, I'll take an example. Say I consider this diary. This diary applies a certain kind of weight on the ground. Suppose this diary happens to apply a force of, means weight means vertical force only. Okay, so a force of say 800 Newton. So if I keep the diary in this way, 800 Newton. If I keep my diary in this way also, force 800 Newton. If I keep my diary in this way also, 800 Newton. So in what angle I keep my diary, that doesn't, the force doesn't matter, depends on that, because the weight is what? Weight is the gravitational pull of the earth. Gravitational pull of the earth. Now, as you know, earth applies force on the body, doesn't depends on what shape the body or what way the body is kept. If the body is kept in this way, earth will pull it by 800 Newton. This way also 800 Newton. This way also 800 Newton. So in all the three ways, the earth will be applying force, or the weight of the body will be 800 Newton. So over here also, the same body just kept like this way, and in a second situation like this way. Like this diary first kept in this way, figure 1, and figure 2 is what? Is kept in this way. Okay, kept in this way. So it is kept in this way, and over there it is kept in this way. Same diary, same thing. Over here also, the body applies a force or a thrust downward is equal to 800 Newton, which is the weight of the body. And over here also it applies a thrust downward, which is equal to 800 Newton. In both the situations, the force applied by the body is how much? 800 Newton. So force applied by the body is how much? 800 Newton in both the situation. Now, but see the area over here. If I keep the body in this way, this is the length is equal to 5 and the breadth is equal to 4. Like the diary, this length is 5 and this part is 4. So how much the area? See, length 5 and breadth is 4. So how much is the area? 5 into 4, 20 meters square. 5 meter and 4 meter. 4 and into 5 meter, 20 meter square. So what is the area over here? Say meter, and this is also meter. So area is equal to 5 meter into 4 meter, which is equal to 20 meter square. Is the area of this body. Okay. So what is the pressure over here? So pressure is equal to what? Force by area. We know this formula, we have just learned now. So force by area. So is equal to how much? 800 Newton by 20 meters square. If you cancel 0, 0 after this, how much it comes? 40 Newton, 40 Newton per meter square, or is equal to 40 Pascal. So this is the 40 Pascal will be the pressure applied by the same body, by the body when it's kept in this way. Now try to see, this body has a length of 5, breadth of 4 and a height of 2. So now I have kept the same thing in this fashion, Now see what happens. This is 2, this is 2, this height is the 2, and this thing is 5. Now, so if you see this area, how much is the area over here? This is, the length is 5 and the breadth is 2. Length is 5 and breadth is 2. So area, how much is over here? Area is equal to 5 meter into 2 meter, which is equal to 10 meter square. 10 meter square is the area now covered by the book. So what is the pressure over here? Pressure is equal to force by area. So it will be 800 by 10, and 800 by 10 is how much? I am writing over here because there is no space. So my pressure ultimately becomes how much? Cancel 80 pascals, 80 Newton per meter square or 80 pascals. Okay. 80 Newton per meter square or 80 pascals. Now what you can see over here, see both the examples. Where is pressure more? In figure 1 or figure 2? Where is the pressure more? See, this is the pressure over here and this is the pressure over here. Where is the pressure more? Obviously in figure 2, this one has more pressure. Now why the pressure is more? Because the area was how much? Area was less, 10 meter square. And over here pressure is less. Why the pressure is less? Because the area is more. So pressure is less over here because area is more. So pressure, so what is that pressure? Force by unit area. Pressure is nothing but force by unit area. Now see, force in both the situations are same. Force is same in both the situation. Force is same in both the situation, 800 Newton and 800 Newton. But since the area over here is less, and more, and area over here is less, so we have different pressure. So how much the force applied by how much area? How much the force? How much the thrust? Force and thrust are the kind of same thing. So how much the thrust applied on how much area? That tells you, that is told by pressure. So that is the explanation of pressure. So what you understood by this thing? Pressure depends on how on area. Pressure is proportional to 1 by area. See, pressure depends on how area? Inversely. Inverse means what? If area becomes more, pressure becomes less. See, area is more, pressure is less. Now, if area becomes less, pressure on the other hand becomes more. See, pressure becomes 80. So see, 40, 80 over here, 20 and 10. So you compare, you will get the answer. The pressure and area are inversely. If area becomes more, pressure becomes less. If area becomes less, pressure becomes more. The simplest example I will make you understand is why. See, I have a pen in my hand. This pen has a pointed part. So if I have a pointed part of this pen, that means what? Area is less at this pointed part. Now that will be applying what? More pressure on my hand. Because area less, pressure is more. But on the other hand, if I turn the pen, now if you see this blunted part has what? This has more area. So as it has more area, it will be applying less pressure. I'm not feeling any kind of pain right now. Okay. See, more area, less pressure. But this way, less area, I'm getting pressure. More, less area, more pressure. So you have to understand pressure and area are inversely related. Now after this, what more example, what is the second factor on which pressure depends? Many of you must be wondering, I know, why sir is sweating. The reason that I am sweating is that I have kept my fan off. Why I kept my fan off? Because if I switch on my fan, the noise of the fan will come and you will not get to hear my voice in a more clear way. That is why I kept my fan off, and that is why I am sweating. So pressure formula is what? Thrust by area. Okay. So if area and pressure we have discussed, area less, pressure more, area more, pressure less. Now, how pressure and thrust are dependent? Pressure is proportional to thrust, or thrust means what? Force. More the force, more the pressure. Less the force or less the thrust, less the pressure. Say on a surface, on a equal surface, here is a one boy who is standing, who is thin, and here is a fat boy who is standing. There is a thin boy and there is a fat boy. Now if you see in both the scenarios, the area I have kept same. Area over here, area say it's 10 meters square. Over here also it's 10 meters square. So area is same, area is same. But this person, this fat boy will be applying what? More pressure on the surface. Why? More pressure? Because this fat boy applies more force. More force. This fat boy applies what? More force. If it applies more force, it will apply more thrust. If it applies more thrust, it will apply more pressure. So pressure depends on thrust directly. More the thrust, more the pressure. Over here, less thrust, thin person, very thin person. So less force will be applied by the boy on the ground. So thin boy, less force will be applied on the ground. So less thrust. So over here, what happens? Less thrust, less pressure. Over here, more thrust, more pressure. So pressure depends on thrust and area. Pressure depends upon two factors, thrust and area. How it depends on thrust? Directly. This is what? Directly. More the thrust, more the pressure. And how it depends upon area? Indirectly. Indirectly. How it depends upon area? Pressure is equal to 1 by area. Means what? Less the area, more the pressure. That pain I showed. Less area, more pressure, and more area, less pressure. So pressure depends upon two factors, thrust and area. It depends on thrust directly, and it depends upon area inversely or indirectly. Inversely. I think till here it should be understood to you. Okay. So after that we'll continue with the day-to-day examples of pressure with the next lecture, in lecture number 6. For then, if you understood the video, very good. If you haven't understood the video, please watch the video once more. Watch the video once more, no problem, but you will understand it much clear. And after you watch the video, please go through my notes. Please go through my notes. Many of you are asking one same question every time. Should we copy the notes on the on your physics copy? Why? No, notes are given for you to study. Sometimes what happens, you happen to see the whole book and you don't feel like to study the whole thing. Notes are given how? Like the important things in a very nicely way, that you can read and get your answers quicker. That is why the notes are given. So notes are given for you to study in a quicker fashion and the important part. But if you want to read the book, that's the best way. Go through the book. But notes are just in a general way that you can do the study in a little fast forward way. So do not need to copy the notes in your physics copy and submit. Notes are for you to study. And so if you happen to enjoy the video, please give a thumbs up. If you have any doubts, please ask in the comment section. If you want your friends to also improve, please share the video. And if you want the notification of the next video, please subscribe to my channel. Okay, bye till then. Take care, bye.